I am your tour guide and also driver this morning. My name is Dennis. Please keep a handle to that because I'm not the menace. I'm a lot better than he is, although some people tends to push me there. But you'll have to push very hard, so no pushing. Looking around, you see this facility that we're leaving is all brand new. Before time, the water from the seas back there was reaching right up to the roadside. So all of that is filled land.
Wow.
It is the AC Wadi Pier, just opened 10 years ago. We did have the old one before. It got destroyed by Hurricane Lewis. What happened to the old one? It was a little too tall. The water was sitting right underneath of it. It destroyed it. This one is designed, if the water comes too high, the water can flow right over. We had experience already with Hurricane Lenny. The water was coming right over it. While on the tour, please keep your cameras handy and dandy and always ready like Freddy. There are locations I won't be able to make a complete stop, but I'll drive by as slow as I possibly can. Off to the left, there's a cluster of red roof buildings all clustered together. That is the DB Little Bay Hotel, where the Queen used to stay when she come to the island. I said used to because recently she was on the island, but she stayed at another hotel. Out to the point of the hill, we have a Fort Amsterdam. All of that you will be able to see a little later down. Here comes to the right, there's a green vine with some lovely pink flowers. This is our national flower. It's called the coralliter, a coral vine. And this you can find all over the island. And I can tell you, it grows on everything. I believe if you stand in one spot too long, it will grow. It's a loving bunch of flowers, eh? The AC Wadi Pier was named after one of our greatest leaders who served this island for over 40 years. Claude Wati, better known as the Old Man. Take a look to the right. See the tree with the fine leaves? That is the flamboyant tree. A Royal Ponciana, which we call the June to July tree. And we call it that because between the months of June to July, it blooms those flowers on a wider scale. And they come in three colors, red, orange, or yellow. Still coming up on the right, you're going to see a home that was prefabricated back in Baltimore. Brought on the other hand, a badge and assembled right here. The home is over 200 years old. There is a star in the building. The star signifies age. It won't look that old because it was recently painted. Take a look to the right. That home was prefabricated back in Baltimore. The one with a star, eh? Still coming up on the right, you will be able to see part of the ruins of the great salt pond. Salt in the 16th and 17th century was our main source of income. All of that ceased in the 18th and 19th century. The reason for that, two sister islands, the Dutch St. Maarten, came to birth of two oil refineries. So the most of the people left this island, went to those two islands for better living and working condition. We no longer manufacture salt, so that only lies as a natural attraction. There are some sticks and stones that are placed in the salt pond. The sticks are called dikes, the stones are called dams. They were placed there to divide the different sections of the salt pond. And each section either belongs to a family or an individual. Before that, coming up on the left, there's a statue. This was one of the freedom fighters. He's a freed slave. Now this guy was standing beside you with chains on his hand and it suddenly popped. What would you do? You run? I'll be in front of you. That's a huge guy, eh? So this is one of the freedom fighters. And here to the right, you have part of the ruins of the great salt pond. You cannot see the sticks and stones right now because the water from the salt pond is too high. But what they're going to do, they're going to pump the water out to sea. I'm going to show you the pump room a little later down. There's the pelican.
Yeah.
Our national bird.
Oh.
You can see some more pelicans. Look to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Still coming up on the right is the University of St. Maarten. Coming up on the left-hand side of the road, there's a blue and white building. They look the same everywhere you go. Police station. Just beyond the police station, there's a pink and white building. That is the government administration building, where all heads of government come under one roof in that area. And just below that, there's another blue and white building. That is our post office. Now here on the island, we used to have 4 stoplights. Only 2 used to work. No only one works. Because straight ahead, you used the stoplight, but it took it away. They got us going around and about again. And at the roundabout, you can see exactly how the salt pickers used to pick the salt back in the olden days. Look straight ahead, you see the sign? It says the salt pickers.
Yeah.
Coming up on the right, there's a green roof building. That is a brand new government administration building. Set to serve you bigger and better, right? Yeah, right. More politics. They're all full of tricks, eh? No matter where you go. That's why we call them politicians. You call them so too, right?
Yeah.
They're the same all over the world.
Well, you call them a little more, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, straight ahead, you can see a piece of hill that has been cut out. They did that to fill this road that we're driving on. This road that we're driving on is called the Walter Nisbet Road, but is better known as the Pond Fields Road. The salt pond here to your right once covered 1,500 acres of the Dutch capital, Philipsburg. So all of this space here to your left was filled in for living and commercial spaces. And as I said before, we no longer manufacture salt. This only lies as a natural attraction. Now may I ask you, how was your cruise coming into the island?
Good.
Very
Apart
good,
from
yeah.
sleeping. Was good? I know for sure driving on board this bus will be just as good, because this bus is better known as the Jolly Love Bus, and I'm better known as the Jolly Love Man. So the only thing you have to do on board this bus is sit back, relax, and be jolly. At present, we are driving on the outskirts of Philipsburg. Philipsburg is said to be a very unique town. It consists of two main streets. It is mainly Front Street and Back Street,
Of course.
which runs parallel. Front Street, the cars drive up. Back Street, they drive down.
Good
Which
idea.
Which one of you can get lost in Philipsburg? Well, if you do get lost in Philipsburg, which will mean you can get lost anywhere. In a short while, you're going to see Back Street and Front Street. Now, I guess you already heard of what happened to us back in 1995. Did you hear that? Okay, we were almost wiped off the map, and that was by Hurricane Louis. Came to the island on the 5th of September 1995, came with winds of 140 miles an hour. Lasted on this island for 36 hours.
Wow.
It was 36 hours of rumble and tumble, just like watching a wrestling match. The other thing, we were the small guys getting all pumped up for 36 long hours. We also had on the 17th of November of 1999, Hurricane Lenny. 95% of this island was flooded out by Hurricane Lenny. The road that we're presently driving on was also flooded out. Water from the salt pond rise so high, reached all the way up to Front Street. Which means to say most of these buildings here to your left was all flooded out. And there were some areas the water was above your waist. So instead of cars on the road, what we had was?
Water on the road.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the road. Jenny lift, you had to catch a boat. Ladies and gentlemen, in a short while, you're going to see a couple of our underground motels, Asylum City. And that will be the cemetery, where you can check in and never, ever check out. And if those guys decide to check out, I'm going to check in and never check out. I don't want to be running around those guys. Guess what? They usually have a big wall around the cemetery.
Everybody's dying to get in.
Oh, you heard it already. They keep the dead in and leave it with the living out. But there's some folks that are just dying to get in. And while driving on board this big bus, you're going to see a whole lot of them. But don't worry, be happy. You're on board a big bus. They don't scare me a bit. Once I don't get scared, you don't get scared, all right?
Good.
Who paid to rebuild your city when
Now,
the water?
now you know what I said we have Back Street and Front Street? So we do have the Back Street boys and the Front Street boys. So if they all mingle, it's all street boys. You think I'm kidding you, eh? Nobody doesn't face her. What happened? Holland and France sent down help. But before they sent the help, we had the island up and running. Every hand was put to the plow.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is our country. We take care of it. We don't wait for government to do everything.
Yeah.
Here we got, coming up on the left-hand side is Back Street. So you're going to see the cars coming. You think I'm kidding you, right?
Nope.
Look at the sign. What does it say? Back Street, right? You see the car just went up? He went up Front Street. Look, see that? Back Street, Front Street. But coming up on the left, there's check-in, no check-out. Most of them are buried 6 feet below, tombstones above ground. Can you tell me how many folks are there in there?
All of them.
You say all of them, eh? I hope so. And this is Front Street. Remember the water from the salt pond? Reach up to Front Street. Coming up on the left is part of the Great Bay Beach. All 36 beaches that we have on this island is open to the public. We don't have any private beaches here on this island. If there's a hotel around the beach, the hotels do not own the beach. And I think that is the way it's supposed to be, right?
Right.
Yes.
But some places it's not.
A lot of places. Too many.
And from here you're going to see a cruise ship, so don't get scared, it's still there. Both docks are capable of taking... Don't worry about him.
He's funny.
He's my cousin. And he lived drunk.
Oh,
Always drunk.
it's a good way to live.
Even if he's not drinking, he's drunk.
Oh dear.
Both docks are capable of taking 6 cruise ships at the same time.
Oh.
But you can imagine when there's like 9 or 11 cruise ships out to the bay. We get as many sometimes, especially in high season. High season runs from October, goes right up to April, May. All of the months are low season, which you get cruise ships coming around all year round, except when there's a hurricane. Here to the left, the Great Bay Beach Hotel and Casino. If you want to take any pictures of the cruise ships, from the top of these sails will be the best view.
You got it.
Remember one thing? We won't be passing back this way. What? I see you pulling brakes there.
I know. It's like, I thought you were going to get his mirror.
Ma'am, I'm like a rat. Once my head can pass, my whole body's coming.
Oh, good, man.
This is the best view of the cruise ship. Take a look to the left. Those of you on the right, when the bus level off, you can stand, there's no problem. You won't be able to get a better view than this.
Oh yeah. Only thing is the sun's on the wrong side.
Don't say that. The guy upstairs is hearing you.
Chadwick.
Fat quick.
Beckwick.
Fat wick. Fat clig.